It ruffled some feathers when it happened. Claudine Gay, smart lady. However, sometimes folks are smart, but they forget to be wise. Claudine Gay has resigned as Harvard University's president. This, of course, comes after allegations of plagiarism and criticism over her comments about what happens on the campus of Harvard University. Antisemitism is at the forefront. Comments of what's allowed, what's not allowed. She had been facing this mounting pressure to step down in recent weeks. I think that she should not have buckled to the pressure, but she did. Now, in a letter announcing her resignation, she said that it was in the best interest of the university for her to go. There has been a lot of pressure put on her. It has been distressing to have doubt cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor, she said. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Smart people that forget to be wise. She was in a congressional hearing and she answered questions, moral questions, like an attorney. This could only spell trouble. She wasn't the only one, though. She said that this decision did not come easy. She said that it had been difficult beyond words. She wrote that, adding that her resignation would allow Harvard to focus on the institution rather than any individual. Now, ironically, I'm sure that they probably prepared her for that testimony. She said that she had been subjected to personal threats and racial animus. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. The exit of Harvard's leader plays into some very bitter campus wars that are going on right now. The 53-year-old served as president for only 6 months. She was the first Black person and the second woman to be appointed to lead the Ivy League university. Her tenure was the shortest in its 388-year history. Now, race plays a part in this. Now, some of y'all not gonna want to hear that. Some of y'all are gonna complain about it. But it is true. It is true. Harvard is one of several universities in this country accused of failing to protect its Jewish students following the attack, the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war in the fall of last year. So we had that come about. Jewish groups have reported an alarming rise in anti-Semitic incidents in this country since that conflict began. There was a very tense congressional hearing last month. Dr. Gay said that calls for the killing of Jews was abhorrent. She said, however, that it would depend on the context whether such comments would constitute a violation of Harvard's code of conduct regarding bullying and harassment. And this is when she gave folks the ammunition that they needed to get her up out of there. This type of talk. She fell into a trap, if you will. So this comment prompted a whole lot of backlash. She later apologized in an interview with the university's student newspaper, but she should have got ahead of this. She should have been prepared for this. This was an easy layup, and all of these so-called smart people failed to do it. Failed to do it. Dozens of politicians and some high-profile alumni called for her to step down over these comments. So the day after these congressional hearings, I was getting a tattoo, and I heard the hearings. They were being played ironically in the tattoo shop. And, you know, when I heard the testimony from these so-called smart people, these educators, I said, damn, that was dumb. That was dumb. Nearly 700 staff members rallied behind her in a letter, and the university said that she would keep her job despite the controversy. They prepared her for this, and she had to take the fall, fell on the sword, if you will. U.S. media outlets have unearthed instances, several of them, where there was alleged plagiarism in her academic record. Some recent, something from back in the day. Harvard's board investigated these allegations last month, and they found that 2 published papers required some additional citations. She didn't credit a couple people on 2 papers, like I said, but they said that she did not violate the standards of misconduct. She failed to properly cite some academic sources, and that emerged just hours before she resigned. The paper, they were published anonymously, and the Washington Free Beacon, that these claims, I mean, so, you know, she's gone. The university's 11-member governing body, the Harvard Corporation, said in a statement that Dr. Gay would resume her faculty position after resigning. So she's still going to work there, but she's not going to be the president anymore. And I think that really highlights the fact that she was put in this position with regards to the congressional hearing, and they knew what she was going to say. They approved of it, but the backlash has been too much. And it's just ironic that Dr. Gay, who is the second university official to resign following the December 5th congressional hearing, these so-called smart people get these easy layups wrong. This is an easy layup. It's an easy layup. The problem at Harvard or any of these other institutions is much larger than one leader. It's much larger than one leader. This was a Republican-led committee. It launched this probe into Harvard and other universities and said that the investigation would continue. This is what you call red meat for the base. Red meat for the base. This is something that Republicans will hang their hats on, I guess. Here's what's ironic. Republicans are very worried about this. But in the meanwhile, in a couple of weeks, the country could shut down. The government could shut down. They're not worried about rushing about that. They are focused on what's happening on these college campuses. And these are hypothetical things. And many Jewish people around the country are concerned. And so these hearings were worthy. But I want to see the same level of intensity towards getting some of these things worked out so that the government does not shut down. We're going to talk about the government shutdown and the pending problem that could bring up.